Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sports Hub exclusive series episode. As today I am currently here in San Jose and right behind me is Excite Ballpark, and in just a bit we're going to be going in there to watch a preseason exhibition minor league baseball game between San Jose Giants versus Oakland Ballers. Now, for some that they might think that this is just your regular exhibition preseason matchup between these two baseball teams, but this is actually bigger than that. This is actually a revived version of the Battle of the Bay. It's the Battle of the Bay 2.0, actually technically 2.1 because this is the second year of this edition. And what this is pretty much a revival of the original Battle of the Bay, aka the Bay Bridge series that we used to see with the San Francisco Giants contest against the Oakland Athletics. And obviously that unfortunately no longer is a thing because the A's unfortunately moved to Sacramento by an owner that I shall not name, but you probably know who it is. But either way, you know, even though that rivalry is no longer a thing, it's now kind of taking place in the minor league, and it should be an exciting game as well. Especially what's even interesting about this game as well, it's actually between two teams that won their respective league last season. The Oakland Ballers actually won the Pioneer League, which is an independent league, last season, whereas the San Jose Giants actually won the California League, which is a low A league in the minor leagues, that is. So yeah, I expect this should be a very fun game to watch, and there's even a trophy up for grab as well. The original Bay Bridge Series trophy is up for grabs in this game as well. So yeah, let's see who of course is going to win this latest edition of the Battle of the Bay series in the minor leagues. Come and join me to Excite Ballpark to find out. So as I said, I have arrived here at Excite Ballpark. I'm now making my way into the stadium, going for security. I even hear a Chinese lion dance performance that is happening in the background, so let's go check that out as we go inside the stadium. So we are now inside the stadium, and of course it's a little loud right here because they have the lion dance going on right there. Of course, even though it is after Chinese New Year, they're still doing that little performance here right in front of the stadium. As I'm now inside the stadium, I always want to first check out the lineup, which it says it right here, and then also over here. I think this is the starting pitching matchup for tonight's game as well, alongside with some promotion that is going on. And you also have the standings here of the California League. Obviously it's empty because the season hasn't officially begun, and you also have some of these trophies that the San Jose Giants of course won, and also the champion as well, including the latest one here. I guess they just didn't have enough room to fit every one, so they kind of put it here in the wall. But yeah, once again, this of course is the starting pitching matchup for today's game, and this of course is the lineup for both of these teams. All right, so here's my first view of where I'm going to be sitting tonight, and as always I'll probably be moving around throughout the game, maybe even go to some of the seats there on the other side. I'm not sure exactly if it's going to be a sellout game, considering it's on a Tuesday, and the fact that I was actually kind of concerned that there was maybe a threat that this game would be delayed because the weather here in the Bay Area hasn't been at its best. But also kind of hang out around that area, especially trying to get some food over there as the game goes along. And by the way, at the front of the entrance, they actually give us this poster here. This, of course, is the Battle of the Bay poster. You got the Giants, of course, winning the California League, the Oakland Ballers there winning the Pioneer League. You got the two of them facing off against each other as part of the storyline, where it's not just the fact that this is the Battle of the Bay, but it's a battle between two champions of their respective league. And I also love the little touch that they have here. You even have the BART train, although it's kind of interesting the fact that they have the BART train going over a bridge, because in real life it's actually going under the tunnel. Right, so as I'm now checking out the stadium like I usually do before first pitch, we got a little food section here. We got a pizza stand here, the garlic fries, and also some Mexican food and a barbecue place over here. And this is definitely a great place for me to come a little bit later on to get some food. Obviously I'm not hungry just yet, but I think probably around the 4th or 3rd inning we'll make our way in this little section there to get something to eat. There's definitely a lot of stuff, and there's also a dugout store right there, which I'm pretty sure it sells San Jose Giants merchandise and stuff. And you also have this kind of picnic table area, although I think you need the tickets to get inside there. All right, so I'm actually at this area called the Futures Club. Not quite sure if this is actually a ticket admission. I don't really see anyone at the front to guard this, so I guess this is kind of free admission here. But as you can see here, we're by the third base area, by the left field foul pole area. We see the Oakland Ballers player doing their warm-up And then over there on the far side, not quite sure you guys can quite see it because it's a little blurry. Let me just kind of zoom in there. There we go. There are the San Jose Giants players doing their pre-game warm-up. And like I said, we still got about 25 minutes before first pitch of this game. And now it looks like the San Jose Giants player are actually going to go one by one on to the field. This is kind of interesting. Usually I see when they announce the players that come onto the field, everybody comes on, but I guess they do it one by one based on the announcer. In just a bit, we're going to get ready for the start of this Battle of the Bay matchup, this exhibition matchup between the San Jose Giants and the Oakland Ballers.
Pitch time, 6:34 p.m.
Goes, and he is out. Good double play there. It's a bit of a delay call, but eventually umpires there in second base says he's out. That's a ground ball, should be easily dealt with, and there it is. So no score here as the Giants are coming up at bat. Ground ball. Oh, it's misplayed. And, well, there was no advancement, but it's still first and second. And still nobody out. You wonder whether or not if the sun might play a factor, as this is really the first time this evening that the sun has started to come out. Oh, and that's a base hit. And that should score a run as the Giants are on the board first. It's 1-0 Giants. An RBI single to left field. As I said, it is 1-0 in favor of the Giants. And that is going to be through again. And this time it won't score a run as that one was actually hit a little bit too softly to maybe score the second run. Almost a repeat of what we just saw, but now the bases are loaded and there's still nobody out here in the second inning. That's ball 4. So that one was a little bit wide, so that walks in a run. It's 2-0 in favor of the Giants now. See on the scoreboard, 2-0 in favor of the Giants over the Ballers. And that might be a double play. And, well, couldn't quite turn it, so that scores another run. As it is now 3-0 in favor of the Giants. We have runners on the corners here with one out here in the second inning. The one of a potential double play. Well, this could be a double play here. It's a little bit of a low throw, but they got the double play that they needed, and that is a much needed double play for the Ballers because they gave up 3 runs here in the second inning. In some way, they kind of limited the damage because it was bases loaded twice with no outs at one point, but heading into the top of the third inning, it's 3-0 in favor of the Giants. That is strike 3. So that's the end of the third inning, and I'm actually going to be heading downstairs to get something to eat here as we head to the fourth inning. Still 3-0 in favor of the Giants. All right, so as I'm watching the game over there, it looks like the Ballers have a runners in second position. Let's see if they're going to do anything here. And actually, that is strike 3, so that is the end of the fourth inning for the Ballers as they couldn't cash in with the runners in second. And while they do the intermission break, just want to tell you what I got tonight. I got this foot-long hot dog here. Also got an orange Gatorade and this tri-tip sandwich. Try this tri-tip sandwich as this is the food segment of the Sports Hub exclusive as always. Very, very, very good. I also got this hot dog, which I'll try in just a bit. It is very expensive though because, you know, since we're here at the ballpark, I think it costs like $12, and then this costs about $10, and then I think the Gatorade is about $5 itself. By the way, I'm not quite sure you guys can see it, but it's actually starting to rain here at the game, and you know, it's definitely not very hard right now, but certainly this should be very interesting, especially after this batter is finished, or even after this inning, whether or not if the umpire is just going to kind of continue this, or maybe we might go on a rain delay, which again, coming into this game, I had a feeling there was a possibility that it could happen because there was a chance of threat of rain that could happen, and that's exactly what is going on right now. Oh, and that is hard hit, but it's going to be caught, and that is the end of the 4th inning. And for the Ballers, that's definitely a bit of a great escape because it was 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Looks like things were going to go pear-shaped for them, but it is still 3-0 as we head into the 5th inning now. All right, so as we play 5 innings in this game, it's a 3-0 lead for the Giants over the Ballers. And so far, all the runs had been scored in the 2nd inning by the San Jose Giants. They've scored those 3 runs and did all their damage, though they did have a couple of chances to extend the lead. They had runners at 2nd and 3rd, I believe, back in the 4th inning, but unable to cash in despite the fact that they had 1 out. The Ballers have had a couple of chances themselves. They had a couple of innings where they have runner in scoring position, but just couldn't quite score them, including in 1 inning. I believe it was back in the 2nd when they hit a double, but unfortunately they just couldn't get that player from 2nd to home. But as we head in the last couple of innings, I'm actually going to just hang out here for a bit because it is still drizzling right now. Looks like this game is still continued despite the fact that it is drizzling, which is good to see because I definitely don't want this game to be stopped. It seems like it's a bit of a fun game so far between these 2 teams. So yeah, as we head to the rest of the game, let's see how this game is going to turn out. And that is low, so it's 4-0 now in favor of the Giants. 8 straight balls, and now the Giants leads at 4-0 here. As everybody moves up after the walk, still bases loaded with 1 out, and now here comes, I believe, the manager for the Ballers. Maybe we're going to have a pitching change coming up for the Ballers here. And it's outside, so it is now 5-0 in favor of the Giants. Just a bit, they're going to put the 5s there. There you go, 5-0 in favor of the Giants. These 2 runs that the Giants have got has really been a gift because both of them have come from bases loaded walks. All right, so now it is 6-0 in this game after there was a wild pitch that is being thrown. Still 2 outs here in this game. Looks like we're going to have runners in 2nd and runners in 3rd. So I'm not quite sure you guys can see it, but right behind the chairs right there, that's actually the bullpen for the Ballers. So we've got a reliever warming up, and I'm assuming the Giants bullpen is somewhere over there. I'm not quite sure if there's some activity for them as well. But heading into the 7th inning now, it is a 6-0 lead as the Giants have been able to score all 3 of those runs. As that's a wild pitch. Oh, he slipped, but he's able to get that out. But that does score the first run of the game for the Ballers on that fielder's choice. So as we head into the 7th inning, or actually now at the 7th inning, it's now 6-1 in favor of the Giants. And that is low. I think that's ball 4, is it? Yeah, it's ball 4, so it doesn't really matter in the end. And once again, just like the 6th inning, the bases are loaded again. This time with nobody out here in the 7th. Oh, that is smacked. And that is going to score a couple of runs. Might even score all of them here. And indeed, that is the case. 3 RBI double here as the Giants continue to add it on here. It is now 9-1 in favor of the Giants as Eppler absolutely ripped this one off the left field and pretty much into the corner here as well. Well, he launched this one. Seems like it is going to be catchable. Oh, it's a long run though, and it's dropped. And that one gets away as well. That's going to score a run. That thing was falling and falling and falling, and a little bit of miscommunication there in the outfield. And well, the Giants have now extended the lead. It's 11-1 now. Wow, it's 11-1 now as the Giants have absolutely blown this open. And whoa, that is a great catch there. Now that was probably the only highlight for the Ballers here in the 7th inning, because they gave up 5 runs here, and the Giants completely blow this open. It's now 11-1. And by the way, I'm going to actually get back to my seat here, even though it is still raining. I'm going to be watching the rest of the game starting in the 8th inning from my seat again. Scored 8 of their last 11 runs. That one gets away, and this will be 12-1. There's the 12th run across the board. Now we look at the scoreboard. It's now 12-1 for the Giants. They have now scored 9 runs in the last 3 innings. And that's a fair ball. Now here comes the runner. Let's see if he's going to dig. Looks like he's not. It's just going to stay put, and that's a smart choice. I think he would have been probably out by a mile there, but now the Giants, they have runners at 2nd and 3rd. By the way, the rain continued to pour down here. I wouldn't even be surprised if the might just think about eventually ending this soon, because yeah, this contest is pretty much completely out of hand with the way it's already 12-1. And well, he's just gonna take first base, so that does score a run. It's now 13-1 in favor of the Giants. Not quite sure if he's gonna get rewarded with an RBI. I think it's just going to be a fielder's choice. He's going to allow this to continue. That's a swing and a miss, and that is the end of the 8th inning. But 2 more runs for the Giants, and as we head into the last of the 9th inning, or the top of the 9th inning, that is, it's 13-1 in favor of the San Jose Giants. And that's low, so the bases are loaded now. Listen to these Baller fans. I mean, even though they're down by 12, they're still here. They're still representing. In many ways, take note, John Fisher. Take note in terms of why that team, now, you said before, probably should have left to go to Vegas and currently in Sacramento. Oh, that's going to be a fly ball. That's going to score 1 run for the Ballers. Tagging from 3rd and going home. Actually, this is a pretty close play, and he's out. Well, I thought for sure that was going to be a sacrifice fly, but as the Giants fans celebrate for the out there, it is now 2 outs all of a sudden. Here's the 1-2, and that is the ball game. As he struck out there, and the Giants, they win this one. 13-1 is the final score. And considering the fact that it was kind of raining throughout this game, I'm kind of surprised the fact that they actually played the full 9th inning. But as the latest edition of the Battle of the Bay has concluded, the San Jose Giants once again winning the Bay Bridge Series in this Battle of the Bay. They win it 13-1. All right, so there is the trophy. Of course, as I said before, you know, that's what they were playing for. And you see those 2 mascots here. I think the Giants mascot is going to get that one. I wonder if the Ballers mascot is just going to hand this. Yeah, here's the presentation of the trophy. For those that don't know, that trophy right there is actually some steel frame that is made from the old East Band Bay Bridge that obviously no longer exists. It's replaced by newer ones.
Trophy of the Bay Bridge Series between the Oakland Athletics and the San Francisco Giants celebrates a cross-bay rivalry rooted in history, pride, and passion. Renamed the Tom Pellick Memorial Bridge Trophy in honors of beloved NBC Sports Bay Area leader whose impact on Bay Area sports was immeasurable. Our 2 teams are proud to carry on the legacy of the trophy, the rivalry, and the spirit of baseball in the South and East Bay. The trophy is made from steel salvage from the original east span of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. Now holds the logos of both the San Jose Giants and the Oakland Ballers, thanks to our friends at the Crucible. Along with bragging rights, this year's winner of the Bay Battle of the Bay 2.1 gets to hold on to this piece of history. Presenting the Bridge Memorial Trophy to Ben Taylor is Pork Nuggets from the Crucible.
Well, that trophy is definitely heavy. You can tell he's gonna have to hold on for a bit. There it is. There's the lift. There's the celebration there from the Giants fan.
202 fans.
So it's just finished here as I've just walked out of the park and now walking back to my car. And in the end, it's the San Jose Giants winning this one by a final score of 13-1 over the Ballers. And to be fair, you knew coming into this game the Giants are going to be the favorites, despite the fact that I mentioned, the storyline of this is between two champions in terms of facing off against each other in this Bay Bridge series and this Battle of a Bay. The reality is that even the low A level is still definitely have much quality compared to what we see in the Pioneer League, in the independent league that the Oakland Ballers, I couldn't speak there for a second, but the Ballers themselves, they did have some chances in this game itself. I mean, they had the bases loaded with nobody out in the ninth inning, and even though the game was kind of out of the reach with the Giants having the 12-run lead, you would have thought that maybe they would have scored a couple more runs to give something their fans to cheer even more heading into the ninth inning, but the Giants were having none of it. They just want to make sure that they keep this a blowout, and that's exactly what happened. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time with our Sports Hub exclusive series episode.